So on this next group of questions, there it says the directions say simplify, but you're actually solving each equation or inequality. So if we could start with number two, and then I'll give you, then I'll go through number one with you. But number two is an equation. So it says x plus 6 equals -7. If you want to solve that for x, you got to get rid of the 6. So we want to get x by itself. So to get rid of the 6, to undo addition, we're going to subtract. So subtract 6 from both sides. And if you like, you can draw the fence in between. Whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So after you subtract 6, you got x, and then 6 minus 6 is 0. Then -7 minus 6 is -13. So x equals -13 for that one. So that's how you solve equations. To solve an inequality, which is like in number one, it's very similar. You go ahead and you can draw what I like to call draw a fence. And whatever you do on one side of the fence, you got to do the other. But this time you're going to have an inequality sign instead of an equal to sign. So in x plus 4, it says is less than 5, -5. So to solve that one, we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. And then you have x, +4 minus 4 is 0. And there's this less than sign. And then -5 minus 4 is -9. So we're going to plot this on the number line. So this is the way that we show all of the solutions to this inequality. So to plot it on the number line, we're going to go ahead and let's put some values in here. Let's say we put 0, -3, -6, and -9. At -9, because this says less than, we're going to put an open circle above -9. And then the arrow, the inequality sign tells you which way the arrow should go. Since the inequality points to the left, we're going to make our arrow go to the left, just like that. And notice this circle was an open circle because this was strictly less than -9. Let me go down a couple. Let me go down to number 5. So number 5, so it says -3x plus 2 is bigger than or equal to 14. So first you're gonna get rid of the +2. You'll subtract 2 from both sides. And again, if you want, you can draw the fence. Whatever you do to one side, you gotta do to the other. So if you subtract 2, this gets you -3x. +2 and -2 cancel out. And 14 minus 2 is 12. And this should be bigger than or equal to. So this time we got the equal to sign underneath. Next, now we got x is not by itself. There's a -3 in front and it's being multiplied. So to undo multiplication, you need to divide. So divide both sides by -3. So when you do that, these -3's cancel out. And you get x on this side. And something interesting happens when you divide both sides by a negative, then you flip the inequality sign. So instead of saying bigger than or equal to, it's now going to say less than or equal to. Then 12 divided by -3 is -4. So it says x is less than or equal to -4. So on the number line below, let's go ahead and plot the solutions. Let's plot 0. Let's plot -2, -4. And this time at -4, we're going to draw a circle. But this time it could equal -4. Here, it cannot equal 9 because it's strictly less than -9. Here, it could equal 4 because of the equal to sign. So we show that by filling in the circle. And then the inequality sign is facing to the left, so we're going to shade everything to the left of -4. That's the way our arrow is going to go. It's to the left. how you're going to solve each of these. One's on this first page. If you go to the next page, let's go ahead and look at 15 and 16. So those are what we call a compound inequality. You got two inequality signs in one. So let's do 16 together. It says 4x is bigger than 4 or 5x is bigger than negative 20. So for that one, you're just going to solve two separate inequalities, but you're going to plot them on the same number line. So in 16, 4x is bigger than 4. So if you want to solve that, you're just going to divide both sides by 4. To solve the first inequality, you divide both sides by 4, and you can draw the fence there if you like. So you get x is greater than 1. So 4 divided by 4. And then on the other side of the or, you have or 5x is less than negative 20. So to get x by itself there, you're going to divide both sides by 5. Make sure you draw your fence first. So whatever you do to one side, do to the other. So x is less than negative 4. So this time you don't switch the inequality because we did not divide both sides by the negative. 5 was positive, so we're not flipping the sign. And then we're going to plot these values on the number line. So here's 0, 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. So at 1, I'm going to put an open circle because it says x is strictly bigger than 1. So open circle there, so there's no equal to sign. And then x is less than negative 4. So at negative 4, I'm going to put an open circle because there's no equal to sign. And then notice the arrow x is bigger than negative 1 is facing to the right. So I'm going to shade everything to the right of positive 1. And then at negative 4, the inequality sign is facing to the left. So I'm going to shade everything to the left. So that's your solution for number 16. 15, there's an example H is just like number 15. So if you check back, I'll have another video for the next set of problems which are solving proportions.